So welcome guys. Today we are going to start the chapter number 9, that is Maratha War of Independence. Now, first paragraph. After the death of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Marathas fought with great valor with the Mughals under the leadership of Chhatrapati Shambhaji Maharaj, Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj and Maharani Tarabai to protect the Swaraj. Now, in this paragraph, after the death of Shivaji Maharaj, the struggle continued, right? And now this long war that lasted for 27 years is called Maratha War of Independence. So this long war was called as, which lasted for 27 years, is called as Maratha War of Independence. So in 1682, Emperor Aurangzeb, now Aurangzeb himself led the invasion of South, right? So Aurangzeb came to Deccan. Even then, despite enormous difficulties, Marathas emerged victorious. Now, there was a very it was very difficult to capture. The It was very difficult for the Marathas to fight the war, but still Marathas emerged victorious in this war. This war is an exciting and glorious period in the history of India. In this chapter, we shall learn about this War of Independence. Now, how what was the Maratha War of Independence? In this chapter, we are going to learn this. So, the Maratha War of Independence, chapter 9. So, let's start. Now, here is the activity. The word Maratha used means people who speak Marathi. So, the people who speak Marathi or Maharashtra people, Maharashtrian people are called as Marathas, right? Now, there is an activity here. Sambhaji Raje speaking. Present a role play. So you can do this activity at your school, right? Now, Chhatrapati Shambhaji Maharaj. Now we'll learn something about the Chhatrapati Shambhaji Maharaj. Shambhaji Maharaj was the eldest, so he was the eldest son of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Right? He was born on 14th May 1657 on the Purandar Fort. So Purandar Fort is nearby Pune in the southern region, southern side of Pune. After Shivaji Maharaj, he became Chhatrapati. So Shambhaji Maharaj became the Chhatrapati after Shivaji Maharaj. At this time, the Marathas were battling against the Mughals. During the same period, Emperor Aurangzeb's son Shahzada Akbar rebelled against his father. So now Aurangzeb's son, who was Akbar, Shahzada Akbar, he rebelled against his father. Rebelled means he was against his father, against his decisions, against his empire. The emperor cursed his rebellion. Now, but the father, that is Aurangzeb, uh, dominated Akbar, Shahzada Akbar, and crushed his rebellion. Then Akbar came to the Deccan to take shelter with Shambhaji Maharaj. Now, the son of Aurangzeb, that is Shahzada Akbar, he sought help from the Deccan with Sambhaji Maharaj. Then Emperor himself descended. Now the father, that is Aurangzeb, himself descended on the south in 1682 to vanquish Akbar. Right? He had with him huge army and powerful artillery. He asked the Siddhi of Janjira to undertake an expedition against the Marathas. So as you remember, there were Siddhi people, right? So Siddhi people around Goa region also. So they fought. Aurangzeb asked Siddhi people to take an expedition against the Marathas. He also won over Portuguese to his side. Consequently, Sambhaji Maharaj had to face many adversaries at one hand and the same time. So Sambhaji Maharaj had a you know good challenge uh, from the Aurangzeb side. The reign of Sambhaji Maharaj marks the first chapter of Maratha War of Independence. So, Shambhaji Maharaj, uh, after Shivaji Maharaj. So, after Shivaji Maharaj, Shambhaji Maharaj continued to fight the Mughal Empire. Uh, Shivaji Maharaj had given him excellent education in civil administration. Now, Shivaji Maharaj had given him excellent education in civil administration and military campaigns. Sambhaji Maharaj had begun to take interest in administration of the state and uh, command of the army, right, from the age of the 14 years. So from 14 years onwards, Sambhaji Maharaj took charge. While he was still a prince, he had led attacks on many territories of the Mughals and the Adil Shah. Then French traveler Abbe Gary says about his battle skills. Even though the prince is young, he is courageous and brave like his father was and famous for. So this was in the words of French traveler Abbe Gary. When Sambhaji Maharaj became Chhatrapati, the war with the Mughals became fierce. Right? Aurangzeb wanted to occupy regions from Kabul to Kanyakumari and create a grand unified Mughal empire. Right? His dream was to destroy the Maratha state completely using his military and financial power. So Aurangzeb wanted to destroy Maratha empire, but Shivaji Maharaj shattered his dreams with his bravery and military skill. Troops of Maratha army attacked many of the Mughal territories. So now Mughal territories were attacked by Maratha. Though Emperor General tried very hard for a long time, they couldn't win Maratha fort for Ramsej near Nashik. Right? So Ramsej fort near Nashik, they couldn't win. That is, Mughals didn't win that. Thus, Sambhaji Maharaj valor brought Aurangzeb to his knees. Once he removed his turban in the frustration and threw it on the floor, he made a vow that until he has vanquished Sambhaji, he would not wear his turban. So this was Sambhaji Maharaj had rendered Aurangzeb helpless to this extent. Right? Now we will learn something. There is activity. Aurangzeb thought that once the Maratha fort was captured, their rule too would come to end. So he put a siege around Ramsar fort near Nashik. So Aurangzeb's army was huge. The Maratha army was small, but they fought with perseverance. The siege continued for the next 5 years. So 5 years is a long time. This bravery of handful Maratha soldiers was unparalleled. Right? This resistance offered by Marathas made Aurangzeb realize the difficulty fighting with them. Now the campaign against the Siddhi. The Siddhi of Janjira used to harass the people in Maratha territory. He used to raid, burn, loot the Maratha territory and commit atrocities. Shavasada has described him as a rat in the house. Sambhaji Maharaj started a campaign against him in 1682. His army laid siege to Siddhi's Dhanrajpuri fort and battled the fort of Janjira with the artillery. But at the same time, Mughal army invaded Swaraj. Sambhaji Maharaj had to abandon Janjira campaign and turn. Now campaign against Portuguese. The Portuguese of Goa joined hands with the Emperor against Sambhaji Maharaj. So Sambhaji Maharaj decided to teach a lesson to the Portuguese. He attacked the Reodanda fort of the Portuguese in 1683. To counter this, the Portuguese laid a siege to the Fonda fort of the Marathas on the Goa border. The Marathas broke through the siege and attacked Goa. In this battle, Yesaji Kang showed great valor. Yashajigam showed a great valor. The Portuguese governor got wounded and retreated. Sambhaji Maharaj followed him. The Portuguese were in deep trouble. At this time, Sambhaji Maharaj got the news that Mughal had attacked South Konkan. Therefore, he had to abandon the winning campaign of Goa and return to fight with the Mughals. So, from both the sides, the attack was going on, from Siddhi people and from Mughal emperor. So it was hard to manage all those territories. Now in the hand of Adil Shahi and Qutub Shahi. Now, Aurangzeb did not succeed to his campaign against the Marathas. Therefore, he suspended that campaign. Then he turned towards the kingdom of Adil Shahi and Qutub Shahi and conquered them. So it was hard for Aurangzeb to capture the Maratha Empire. Now the wealth and the army of both the kingdoms was now acquired by the Mughals. Now it made Aurangzeb even stronger. Then he concentrated all his might on defeating the Marathas. He attacked their territories from all the sides. The Maratha army general Hambirrao Mohitte got killed during an encounter with Mughal army. Due to this blow, the military strength of Sambhaji Maharaj was weak. Now, administration of Sambhaji Maharaj. Now, even though Sambhaji Maharaj was busy fighting on various battlefronts, he did not ignore his administrative responsibilities. Now, here we are going to see how was the administration at the time of Sambhaji Maharaj. He did not ignore his administrative responsibilities. He continued the prompt justice and revenue system, which was characteristic of Shivaji Maharaj era. He severely punished the landlords. So he severely punished landlords who harassed common people and who rebelled against Swaraj. He gave administrative powers to Maharani Yashubai. So this is another very good information about Sambhaji Raje. He gave administrative powers to Maharani Yashubai. Right? He gave her own stamp. He continued the legacy of Shivaji Maharaj welfare policies. Sambhaji Maharaj knew Sanskrit and many languages. He studied many ancient books on Marathi and wrote their gist in a book called Budbhushanam. So this is the book known as Budbhushanam. Now Shambhaji Maharaj composed Budbhushanam in Sanskrit language. Right. The second chapter of this book discusses polity. Now this Budbhushan book is about polity, right? He studied many ancient books on polity and wrote their gist. So it includes information about virtues of king, prime minister, princess, and their education, functions, adversaries to the kings, forts, the goods and material needed in the fort, army, duties of the king, espionage, etc. So this was the Budbhushanam book written by Shambhaji Maharaj on polity. Death of Shambhaji Maharaj. Now Aurangzeb was trying very hard to defeat Shambhaji Maharaj. He had placed Mukarrab Khan in charge of Kolhapur province. Right? Mukarrab Khan learned that Shambhaji Maharaj was at Sangameshwar in Konkan. He raided the place and captured Shambhaji Maharaj. Right? When Shambhaji Maharaj was taken to Emperor, he faced him fearlessly. By the emperor's order, he was brutally put to death. This Maratha Chhatrapati did not compromise. his self-respect and faced his death nobly and bravely. Right? The Marathas took inspiration from his sacrifice and intensified their fight against the Mughals. Now, the second is Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj. Rajaram Maharaj was the second son of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Right? He was born on 24th February 1617 on Raigad. He became Chhatrapati after the death of Sambhaji Maharaj. Now Aurangzeb thought that his dreams of winning the Maratha kingdom would be realized. He sent Zulfikar Khan to put Raigad under the siege. At that time Rajaram Maharaj and his wife Maharani Tarabai and Sambhaji Maharaj's wife Maharani Yasubai and his son Shahu were on Raigad. It was risky for all the members of the royal family to stay at one place. Now Maharani Yashubai tackled this unprecedented calamity very bravely, resolving that she would not surrender to Mughal under any condition. She took many important political decisions on Raigad. It was decided that Rajaram Maharaj should escape from Raigad and if necessary go to far off places like Jinji. It was decided that the fight to defend Raigad would continue under the leadership of Maharani Yeshu. Maharani Yeshubai chose to make Rajaram Maharaj and not her own son Chhatrapati. Her decision is shining example of her love for Swaraj and her extreme selflessness. She kept the Maratha Chhatrapati secure without regard for her own life or that of her son. Now there is activity find Jinji on the map of India. So let us find Jinji on the map of India. So as you can see here, this is Jinji Fort. So as you can see here, this is Maharashtra, this is Pune, and in this region that is Tamil Nadu state, this is a Jinji Fort, right? Jinji, that is in southern India. So as you can see here the pictures, this is a Jinji Fort. This is a Jinji Fort, right? So Jinji Fort is located in Tamil Nadu in the southern side of India. Now Rajaram Maharaj lives for Jinji. On April 5th, 1689, Rajaram Maharaj escaped from the besieged Raigad with a few of his associates. He decided to go south to Genji. Genji fort was invincible, and it was not easy task for Mughals to capture this fort. Rajaram Maharaj took his faithful soldiers like Prahlad Miraji, Khandobalal, Rupaji Bhosle and managed to reach Genji. Now the movements of Marathas. It was difficult to defend the Raigad fort against the might of Mughal. Right? Mughal captured Raigad in November 1689 and arrested Maharani Yeshubhai and Shah. While going to Jinji, Rajaram Maharaj had assigned the duty to fight against Mughals to Ramchandra Pant Amatya, Shankarraji Narayan Sachiv, Santji Ghorpade, and Dhanaji Jadhav. So these were the people who were responsible for defending the Raigad fort, right? From the Maratha point of view, the situation was critical. Aurangzeb had incited many Maratha Sardar to his side by giving them Watans Jagirs. Rajaram Maharaj also used the same tactics to thwart the Mughal plans. It was promised that if Maratha Sardar captured Mughal territory, it would be given to him as a target. Due to this promise, many capable Maratha Sardar came forward. They started invading the Mughal territory with vigor and defeated Mughal general Santaji Dhanaji were at the forefront in these actions. Against this surprise attack and guerrilla tactics, the enormous amount of war material and heavy artillery of the Mughals were of little use. The Mughal forces were at their wits' end. On one occasion, Santaji Ghorpade, Vittoji Chauhan, even cut and carried away the golden pinnacle of Emperor's own tent in a surprise attack. Now, siege on Chinji. Siege of Chinji. Once Raigad was captured, the emperor sent Zulfikar Khan to south on a campaign of Chinji. He laid siege to the fort of Chinji. The Marathas defended the fort bravely, nearly 8 years. For nearly 8 years, the Mughal forces engaged in the siege were fiercely attacked from outside by Santaji and Dhanaji. Rajaram Maharaj escaped through the siege and returned to the Maharashtra. Now Zulfikar Khan captured the fort of Jinji. So fight was almost for 8 years. The return of Rajaram Maharaj to Maharashtra gave boost to the Maratha activity. Now, return of Rajaram Maharaj. The Marathas attacked the Mughal territory of Khandesh and Varad, Balgan. Rajaram Maharaj inspired hundreds of brave Maratha warriors like Santaji and Dhanaji with his understanding of nature and statesmanship. He motivated them to protect Swaraj and thus performed a very valuable task. But even as all this was taking place, Rajaram Maharaj died on 2nd March 1700 on Siagar after a short period of illness. Rajaram Maharaj was thoughtful and kind-hearted. He brought together all the capable people in Maratha Empire. He united them, created new enthusiasm among them. After the death of Sambhaji Maharaj, he fought against Aurangzeb for 11 years with great courage and tenacity. Rajaram Maharaj's greatest achievement is that he protected Swaraj in those extreme difficult times. While describing Rajaram Maharaj, noted historian Riyazkar G. S. Sardesai has used the adjective "sthir-buddhi", that is, level-headed. He cannot be described in better words than that. So, he described Rajaram Maharaj as "sthir-buddhi". Now, there is activity. Interview the women in your neighborhood who have made great achievements in various fields. Now, Maharani Tarabai. After the death of Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj, Aurangzeb thought he had won the war against Marathas. But it was not so. Aurangzeb was winning the battle after battle, but she could not win the war. Maharani Tarabai, capable wife of Rajaram Maharaj, came forward to lead Swaraj movement in extremely unfavorable circumstances. So this is the image of Maharani Tarabai. Contemporary Mughal historian Kafi Khan describes Maharani Tarabai as intelligent, knowledgeable woman. Her management of army and administration had won renown even during the rule of her husband. After the death of Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj, Maharani Tarabai continued the Swaraj struggle bravely with the help of her Sardars. Aurangzeb captured Satara, Panhala from the Maratha territory, but at the same time Marathas dashed up to the Mughal areas of Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. Tarabai expanded the war areas further. Sardars like Krishnaji Sawant, Khanderao Dabhe, Danaji Jadhav, Nemaji Shinde opened battles against Mughals on various points outside the Maharashtra. This was a sign of change in the outcome of the war. Maharani Tarabai fought for 7 years. She kept Maratha kingdom strong. She took charge of the administration single-handedly and encouraged the Sardars to participate in the mission of Swaraj. Maratha Sardar fought against Mughals up to Shironji, Mandsaur and Malwa. Khafi Khan has reported that Rajaram's wife Tarabai achieved great things and displayed the qualities of leadership of army and management campaign. It added force to Maratha campaign. Now, there is some activity. Maharani Tarabai used guerrilla technique very effectively. Marathas were comparatively weaker than Aurangzeb in army power. Aurangzeb used his army to put siege to the forts and capture them. Marathas used to fight for fort as long as they could win, but when the rainy season approached, Kiledar of the fort pretended to side with the Aurangzeb. A bribe was accepted from Aurangzeb and fort was handed over to him. The Kiledar used to deposit this bribe amount in the Maratha treasury. When the Aurangzeb depleted the wealth, grains and ammunition of the fort, Tarabai used to capture that fort again. This strategy of Tarabai is described as the safe deposit locker. After describing Tarabai's great achievement, poet Devdatta, who was son of Paramananda, the author of Shiv Bharat, says. So this is what he says. Thus Maharani Tarabai kept up legacy of valor inherited from Chhatrapati Shivaji. Due to the forceful campaign of the Marathas, Aurangzeb was frustrated. Now, the Mughal-Maratha fight had continued for 25 years. Still, Mughal could not defeat Maratha. In these circumstances, Emperor Aurangzeb died in 1770 at Ahmednagar. The Maratha War of Independence ended with his death. This Maratha War of Independence was fought between the Mughal Emperor greed to expand his empire and the spirit of independence of Marathas. The Marathas emerged victorious after the death of Aurangzeb. They led others in filling the vacuum in the political arena. They controlled the throne of Delhi, ran the affairs of almost all parts of Hindustan, and protected it. Therefore, the 18th century is known as the century of Marathas. In the next chapter, we will see the achievements of Marathas in that century. So, this is the family tree of Bhosles. So, Maloji Raje, now Shahaji Raje, right? Shahaji Raje's son had three sons: Sambhaji, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and Venkoji. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj has two sons: Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, Rajaram Maharaj. Now, Sambhaji Maharaj had Shah Maharaj as his son. Rajaram Maharaj had Shivaji, son of Tarabai, and Sambhaji, son of Rajeshbai. Now, he had Chhatrapati Rajaram adopted and Ram Raja adopted by Satara Gaddi. So, this is family tree of Bhosles. Right? Now, this is the exercise. Give reasons. Aurangzeb turned his attention towards Adil Shahi and Qutub Shahi. Now there is activity show Goa, Bijapur, Golconda, Jinji, Ahmedabad, Ahmednagar on the map of India. This is Fort Jinji, the southern territory. So as you can see, it was very difficult at that time to capture Jinji Fort. It was located at the top of the mountain also. So we'll continue the next chapter in the next video. Thank you for listening.